Parisian chic, that's the new look on board Qantas after the flying kangaroo unveiled its glamorous new uniform on the catwalk.
Miranda Kerr was the hostess with the mostess on the catwalk today.
Supermodel Miranda Kerr today launched Qantas's new uniform, the first change in 10 years.
We have done an enormous amount of work on our brand, changing our brand values, investing in our people, investing in our product, and we really wanted to then package that with a brand new uniform that encapsulates everything that we've invested in and makes that beautiful statement of where Qantas is going to and creating that new look. You need to be recognised very easily, whether you're in Australia, whether you're overseas, and our uniform is like a logo. Obviously, a uniform for our people has to be intensely functional, but it doesn't mean that it has to be boring. You want that sense of glamour in the air and even on the ground. To me, flying is so exciting. It's still glamorous, and we create that experience by the clothes that we, put on our people. Our history goes back to 1938. And throughout the years we've engaged with the world's best designers, Emilio Pucci, Yves Saint Laurent, George Gross and Harry Hu, Peter Morrissey. So there's been some incredible statements in fashion that we've made. If you think about our brand, there's two things that probably you'd recognise the most. One would be the livery of the aircraft and the other one would be our people and the uniform that they wear. So it's the single biggest touch point we have with our brand. We started at a variety of different levels. I think the first level that we went to, we were looking for someone that was Australian, someone that potentially had international credibility, and also someone that we thought could design a uniform that was both classic, stylish, but also modern. And when you put those three together, that's actually quite a unique skill set to be able to achieve. So we asked 4 people essentially to participate in a pitch process, and we asked them to create their vision for what the next Qantas uniform would be. As you can imagine, there's so many different stakeholders involved. You've got your senior management team, your senior executive team, including Alan Joyce, our Chief Executive Officer. And they partnered with our uniform panel, who were a nominated group of 12 employees from across the group. And so our people were at the very core of the decision-making process.
What we've been doing as panel members is working together and discussing how we contribute to the business and how we will be wearing the uniform and what duties we perform and how we need to wear the uniform and move in the uniform and how it works for us primarily.
But it's not just, designing a uniform and having everybody wear it, the next day. There's just, the complexity is just ginormous, it's huge.
My role is to get our message across from my colleagues that this is what they want, can we do it? Or this is what we don't want.
I'm from Melbourne, from Blackburn, in the outer suburbs of Melbourne.
My style would probably be best described as there's a slight minimalism to my style. It has classic, pure lines to it. I don't like decoration, so it's much more about the form and the fit of the garments.
I see this very much as an Australian project, but I see it very much as an international project. Qantas is an international company and it operates all over the world. And for me, it's how I approach my own work. Also, I tend to look at the codes, look at things that historically have worked and that remain powerful, and then you can draw on those elements. So I decided to avoid the whole idea of a print and really just bring it back to this strong graphic quality and to reflect the logo of Qantas, which is something that has stood the test of time.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to participate in the project, which immediately excited me because I love uniforms, I love air travel. Qantas for me is also I've been living abroad for 20 years now, so whenever I see the symbol, it's something that's very nostalgic and it has quite a powerful effect on me.
Today, Australia has come of age. We have our own globally renowned homegrown designers. We're a fashion force in our own right. So we were not surprised, but we were very humbled by the amount of interest we received from Australian designers around the world. And now to the new Qantas uniform designer. It is my pleasure to introduce Martin Grant. Martin was born in Melbourne and has an incredible international career spanning 30 years. We all felt that Martin's elegant style was the perfect template for the new Qantas uniforms. His designs speak of a confident Australia, an Australia that is quietly proud, an Australia that is home everywhere in the world. What could be a better fit for Qantas?
We asked our people to nominate themselves. You know, if you think that you would like to be involved in the launch and you would love to walk down the catwalk in our new uniform and be the first one to be wearing it, then tell us why you'd like to be involved. So we selected them, but at that stage, we also then needed to get them to be able to walk on a catwalk. And we also brought in Jay Alexander, who then worked with our models to train them on catwalk so that they could walk elegantly and glamorously and with a bit of attitude like you would see a fashion model do.
Okay, just setting the stage. Left, right, left. You know you're responsible for all this.
And that whole process literally happened the weekend before we launched the uniform. There was a lot of excitement. We had to do a quick run through with the staff not in their uniforms, and then we had 36 staff models. And we had to bring in all of those staff from all over Australia as well. So the logistical movements that we were doing in that lead up to the launch was amazing. But the day of the unveil, it was just such a proud moment, and I suppose I held my breath because I knew I'd been working with Martin for the last year and a half trying to design something very special, but it's not until you really see it en masse and see what the reaction is en masse as to how people are going to respond. So he's used the red, white and sort of French navy theme. And the red he's done a play on, so he's used Qantas red, which is our colour, and then he's changed the tone of that to a ruby red for some of the more supervisory roles, but then added the frivolous fuchsia pink, just adds that liveliness and adds that element of joy. Straight away I just had that sense of, this is amazing, we've done something really special. Everything had come together so beautifully, and when you look at his, the beautiful dresses that he's created, that was the image that he sent me with the pink sleeve, and I knew straight away that that was the design that we would end up with, and sure enough it is.
We don't do this too often. This is only the 10th uniform design that we've had since 1948. And this represents not only Qantas, but I believe Australia around the globe.
Fantastic. I have to say, overwhelmingly very good. And we'd already had good reactions from the staff as we were doing all of the fittings and organising the show. So that was great to see. It's fantastic to finally show it to the staff and unveil it.
The overall reaction was phenomenal. Beyond, I always knew it would be good, but it was way beyond what even I expected. To hear the screams of the staff, to see editors of Vogue and Grazia and Harper's Bazaar sitting at the front cheering. Kate Blanchett and Kate Sobrano were sitting either side of Alan Joyce, and they were on their feet clapping. It was quite phenomenal, and the press just went crazy. What Martin had above potentially above the others, was he really understood a uniform. He understood the need for it to have a uniformity, and that when you change something over here, you in fact have to change something over there. So he understood how the jigsaw all fitted together. So you also need to design a uniform that's not only beautiful, but also one that you can replicate year on year for much smaller quantities than what you launch with. So there is this whole supply chain side, which is not glamorous in any way or form, but it's something that's very important to creating the overall look and making sure year on year we're able to maintain that look to the best of our ability. Production is a lengthy process. We used all Australian raw materials, so we sourced all of our wool from Australian farms, and we've actually linked all the farms back, the sheep farmers back. We know exactly where the wool's come from, which is pretty exciting. Normally, I suppose, the best way to fit anything is that you would walk into a retail store, you try it on, and if it fits you, you walk away with it, and if it doesn't, you put it back on the shelf. But for a uniform, of course, it is something that they've got to wear, and our people are located all over the world. So we needed to find a way that our people could determine what the best fit for them was without creating a retail environment in 80 different locations, which was an impossibility. So we designed a fit passport with Martin, and what that helped our people do was determine the correct fit for each of the different garments. So by the time that our people are wearing the uniform, we will have designed a uniform for 11,500 people. Those people are in 21 different countries, 80 different locations. We've trialled 30 or 40 different fabrics, probably had 7 or 8 different reiterations of design. We've created enough fabric that would take you from Sydney to Orange. We've created 300,000 garments, and we've distributed all of those garments in individual boxes to 11,000 different addresses. So it's a phenomenal process. So we wanted to make sure that it was something that was easy to wear for our people, that they felt beautiful wearing it, but also that our customers felt that we'd created something very special, very uniquely Australian and very uniquely Qantas. Oh, I'm beyond happy. I think to have seen the screams in the crowd and to have people email me on a regular basis, and when I'm walking through the terminals, people will say, oh, I just love that new uniform, I can't wait to be wearing it. To have that sort of response from our people, from me, makes it all worthwhile. And I also think to have the same response from fashion industry and also from our customers, you kind of know we've made something really special.